What's up guys, this is Gravity Cat here, and I'm bringing you another ship fitting tutorial for EVE Online. Today we're going to take a look at the Buzzard. The Buzzard is the Tech 2 exploration frigate for the Caldari, and it is designed to work with a covert ops cloaking device to get around low and nullsec relatively undetected. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the fit. So the first module that I usually fit on here is the Covert Ops Cloaking Device. My rule of thumb is if you can't use the Covert Ops Cloaking Device, there is no point in flying a Covert Ops ship. These are incredibly useful in your survivability as far as these ships are concerned, especially this frigate as it is relatively fragile. So if you can't use the Covert Ops Cloak, don't fly a Covert Ops ship. These allow you to warp cloaked, and being able to warp around cloaked is one of the biggest factors in your survivability. If they can't track you down and they can't see you, they can't shoot you. That is your number one line of defense. The next is a core probe launcher of some kind. I use a Sister's core probe launcher. If you can afford to use a Sister's core probe launcher, by all means do. They're easily better than the Tech 2 version, but they are significantly more expensive than the Tech 1 or the Tech 2 version. I believe these cost about 40 million ISK on the market. So if you can afford it, go ahead and use it. If you can't, I would advise not. I do a lot of missioning with the Sisters of Eve, so I get mine through loyalty points, so I'm not too concerned about losing mine. Also, make sure you use Sisters core scanner probes. They give you the most bang for your buck as far as probe strength is concerned. 2 sets of 8 is only about 6 to 8 million, depending on where you buy them. And there's no reason to use Tech 1 probes when Sisters Core scanner probes are so much better. Unless, of course, you can't afford the 6 to 8 million, which some new players might not. At least not be able to lose them on a regular basis. I would say you should bring 2 sets of 8, that way you can always keep the probe launcher loaded with probes. That way it's just one less thing you don't have to think about. And the last high slot I have on here is a Salvager. This isn't really necessary. I just like to keep it on there in case I run into an elite wreck somewhere out in nullsec, and I can try to salvage it up and get a hold of some blue loot. But if you don't want to risk doing that, then I would say this isn't necessary. This is just personal preference. So in the mid slots, I have a micro warp drive. There's no real need for a Tech 2 micro warp drive. You're not going to be using it a whole horribly lot. This is just mostly to make tactical bookmarks and get around sites easily. Obvious, data module and a relic module. You kind of need these if you're going to be doing exploration. I bring both along just because every now and then you do run into a data site that is worth something. Relic sites tend to be worth more, but every now and then you run into a data site that's good, so I usually bring both. And 2 scan pinpointing arrays. What these do is they don't directly affect probe strength, but they do make it so the red dot on your map is closer to the actual location of the site, so you have to move your probes less. I bring 2 of these along. I'm currently training up for Tech 2 of all of these, and that will help with those skills as well. In the lows, we've got a nanofiber internal structure to help with align time without blooming signature, and a micro auxiliary power core because this ship's power grid is relatively low. And in the rig slots, I have a small memetic algorithm bank and a small emissions scope sharpener. Each one of these helps one of these analyzers, and being that these aren't Tech 2, these rigs really help with some of the harder data and relic sites out in low and null. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the fit. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, all those things on the video, and I hope you have a pleasant day in New Eden. I love that animation.